And Jaedong's weaker against Protoss players, but does that previous game against Hero, is that a warm-up, I ask you, Mignon? Was that a warm-up for him to do it?
Well, you know what? If you're going to learn anything from a ZvP playing it against Hero, I think that that's the player that you'd learn from. He's going to identify a lot of his mistakes that he's made from his last game. And, you know, Jaedong is amazing, but he did make mistakes, and he will identify them. He will put them to bed. He'll put them to bed. But will it be in time to deal with MC, who is an aggressive and a crazy Protoss?
All right, so up here in the top left, we do have Evil Genius's Jaedong, and he will be going up against SK Gaming's MC. Down here is the red Protoss player, a best of 3 to determine it. But already we see an interesting development within this series. We have a very early extractor and an early spawning pool. Jaedong switching things up here. It looks like he's going to be going for very early Zergling speed, but MC with an incredibly early scout already picking up this intel.
So he knows this could be Speedling Expand or just straight Speedling.
Yeah, look, he just throws down a Forge.
Yep, that's right.
He throws down a Forge, and then all that he needs to really think about now, if I'm MC, if I'm in MC's shoes, I'm like, all right, JD, all right, EGJD, what do you think you're doing here? As the probe sees everything. And all that I'm doing as MC is you very easily just get the Nexus down, get a cannon, and focus on the wall off, focus on getting the cannon down, and most importantly of all of those things, follow up scouts. Need to know, is it a Roach Warren down? Is it even Zergling speed? Is it Zergling speed and then cancel into Roach Warren? There's a lot of different things. Is it a Baneling bus? Is it mass Zerglings? Whatever it is, it could be very, very aggressive here, and MC needs to make sure that he knows what one it is, when it is, how it's coming, and everything.
Absolutely. And there's the scout from Jaedong seeing this wall. His heart probably sinking a little bit because it already looks like MC more than prepared for the Speedlings that he had planned for him. As, you know, obviously going to be a lot more effective against a Gateway Expand. But, yeah, MC a little bit too good, a little bit too G.
All right, well, we'll see what Jaedong has up his sleeves here. Is it only just for Zergling speed and that alone? Look, MC's trying to get back in. He pokes in. He sees, all right, still, only 100 gasp in mind. Okay.
Yeah, Speedling
I don't need to worry about, you know, a Baneling bust, Roach Warren play, anything crazy.
Yep.
So now he knows that it could be still mass Zerglings, which means he needs to focus on maybe even leaving a probe in there once the Cyber Core's done before Zealot's made. Just make sure that no Lings can run by.
Or are on the way, Apollo. No, Jaedong deciding that they need to split up and take the towers instead.
What is he doing with this lava that just popped, though? Okay, drones. It is drones.
Okay.
It is drones.
Okay. So this is actually a really, really, really old ZvP opener to go Speedling Expand. And now Jaedong is forced in this situation where you make your 4 Lings, take the towers, and then you got your other 2 to scout around and maybe sit by the ramp and see what's happening with your, you know, your Protoss opponent.
Yeah, and Jaedong's hurt his economy a little bit by doing this.
He has.
But he also hides everything. So even though he hurts himself, MC is now leaving a probe there that isn't mining.
Yep.
You know, if he sees these Lings, he may even freak out and build a second cannon. I don't know. You know, anything's possible from this position. But most importantly, Jaedong now completely denies any form of information until a sentry's down, hallucinated Phoenix, until an observer's rushed out, a Phoenix itself is rushed out, and he's chosen to do with that information that's now been hidden away to throw down a really, really fast layer. I'm not even sure what this is for. Is it for maybe a Nidus Worm? Is it for a really super fast infestation pit for Swarm host? Like, is it an all-in? Is this... I don't know. There's many options for him to choose from.
I feel like where Jaedong is, I think he might try and go for something a little bit insane. Like, and I feel like
Spire or
possibly Nidus. I'm feeling Nidus.
Nidus?
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
Well, look at this. There's already a Stalker patrolling. There's a Stargate coming down. The Stargate is the best defensive structure of all. Phoenixes can deny overlords. They scout faster. It's a Hydra Den. Really fast Hydra Den.
Ling Hydra. Very, very strong against Gateway. And pretty good against Stargate as well. So.
All right. What... trying to figure out. A third gas has been thrown down. The problem is Hydras lack mobility until they get their upgrades. Hydraless speed is an expensive upgrade. It's going to cut into his Hydraless count. But Jaedong is so low in drones. 32 drones.
Wow.
It's like an old school, you know, I guess back in the days it was called a 3-hatch bus because it was 3 hatches, not off 2.
Yep.
But a very, very fast Hydraless play. Hydraless speed being made. Nidus Worm coming in.
Wow.
I was going to say, until Hydraless speed is done, mobility is the big problem.
And that's
Nidus Worm is no mobility.
That's right.
Well, at least you were half right, weren't you, with your Nidus Worm
Half
prediction?
right. I thought Nidus before the Hydras. I actually thought straight up Speedlings into the Nidus.
Even if he doesn't have an Overlord in position, the Lings can just move back, and the Nidus Worm's just there.
That's right.
Doesn't matter if he loses this. Doesn't matter about that. MC has no idea. The Night Swarm's cancelled.
Is Jaedong just freaking out a little
I
bit?
think he wanted to try get it in the main base. I wonder why he didn't try to put it down outside the natural here. I guess
that Overlord going down completely.
Yeah, I thought he didn't care. I thought he was just going to do it anyway.
Okay.
But now what does he do? He sits back on 2 base,
He can't
no
take
drones,
a third.
no third.
That's right, the Viper's gone.
Jaedong, what are you trying to do?
Oh my god. Yeah, the Void Raid just took out that drone, and now all of a sudden Jaedong is in a really awkward spot.
He's in a terrible position.
Since the beginning of the game, I feel like Jaedong's been in an awkward spot, in an awkward game. It's just been a little bit hard for him this time.
And now he has to gamble by moving across the map. He doesn't know what his opponent has. He doesn't know exactly. He obviously knows there's a couple of air units, but if Jaedong overcommits and goes across the halfway line, what's to stop Stalkers chasing him down and beating him up?
Hydra speed won't even finish by the time he gets there. Yeah, he's going to retreat. Okay.
Yeah, this is rough here for Jaedong.
He's second guessing a lot at the moment. He's got two hatcheries, getting an infestation pit and an Evo chamber. He's trying to pull something together here, but MC in the meantime has been macroing up without a single care in the world, really.
MC builds a robotics bay, takes a third, and says, "All right, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do?"
And there's the Colossus stand going down, which means splash damage. The Hydra's going to be, you know.
The Warp Prism, fantastic actually there, because what he's saying is, all right, the one thing you could do is try to push across the map with Hydras. Sure, you've got Hydra speed and Hydra range, but what happens if I warp in a bunch of crap in your main base as you come across the map with everything you've got? What are you going to do?
Swarm hosts, apparently. Swarm hosts, decision here from Jaedong.
I don't think this is the best start for Jaedong in this series, is it? Not the best start.
Yeah, I still, I stand by. I feel like he's been a little bit awkward in this game, which is a little bit surprising because it is Jaedong. So, this high caliber, you don't expect mistake after mistake in this game, but it is still Jaedong, and I fully believe that he can pull something out of nothing here. If anyone's going to do it, it'll be him.
All right, well, let's see if he can do that. That special thing needs to come out here from Jaedong if he wants to make it through to the next stage of this tournament. Because MC is a very difficult player to play against.
Yeah, he definitely needs something. Absolutely. We got 4 Zealots coming into the main here, being warped in, and these Queens really aren't going to have much to say about that.
I mean, where are the units? They're on the other side. He doesn't really have that many units because he's been catching up with drones that he now sacrificed so early on to get the Hydras out. He doesn't have any units at this point. Only a couple of Hydras do come in. Great micro here from Jaedong. Loses a single Hydra versus that. Doesn't lose the Queen. But still.
Oh, that's a fly block. And he hasn't got any Overlords on the way either.
Look, 1,000 minerals!
Oh.
5 Overlords. Jaedong is... I think what the biggest problem here is that Jaedong's mentality is very weak. That's the only thing that makes a lot of sense here. Like he's questioning himself, like you said. His build isn't that strong. He knows he's playing from behind. He's not playing strong enough to catch up fast. And behind this, double robotics facility Colossus. What we'll end up seeing from MC is complete harassment and then be like, all right. And probably with MC you get Blink as well. It's of course going to be able to Blink, like MC gets Blink every game. Like, I'm going to come kill you now.
Yeah, when you have the micro that MC has, it's like borderline silly not to get Blink. I mean, Swarm Host is one of those units where you can do crazy stuff with them, like crazy amounts of stuff. Like any unit that spawns 3 units is always going to be good for you. But he doesn't have that many, and MC's already going to have Colossus on the map by the time they become a threat.
Yeah, MC's moving out now, saying, all right, I've heard him a lot. I keep supply blocking. And I would love it if MC just moved across, tried to pick off the third, and recalled back. Love it.
Taken out here, but I don't think MC cares.
Look at this. Got 4 sentries, got enough force fields. The creep spread's not that good. Would love it if you try to pick off this third. I would love it even more if you killed it. Beautiful moves if that's the case.
Ooh, Jaedong running position for his Warp Prism. Good deflection there from JD. Heading up to the creep highway on the way to the third. Swarm Host sending the Locust, but I don't think they're going to last long enough.
Yeah, come around here and then force field in a line with the hatchery. Or even try to get the ramp. Anything along those lines.
Yeah.
Can he get through though? I think that's what his plan is here.
He sees the Locust.
Yeah, right there. Like in between the eggs and the ramp.
That's where he wants to be. Locust got there first though. Force fields.
Yeah, I don't like MC's going to be able to break this third. The Swarm Hosts are there, the Locusts are there. Good attempt though. It definitely was on the agenda for sure.
Yep.
And there's that Blink. Of course it was going to be Blink. It's MC, man. I've never seen MC not get Blink every single game. Doesn't matter what matchup, whatever. It's Blink, man.
He's about to take a 4th Nexus Apollo, and he has a bit of a worker lead, just up 6 or 7 workers. So
I mean, he hasn't quite got the army supply lead, but with the worker lead he has in all these gateways.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, all right, time to take a fourth. Probably going to start my Stalker production in a minute, and probably attack with +2 Blink and a bunch of Colossus here. This is, a beautiful setup from MC. Despite being behind in supply, he's absolutely in the lead in this game.
Absolutely, man. And Jaedong, like I said, if anyone can pull something from nothing, it's going to be this guy. But I mean, he's not on nothing anymore. He's starting to catch himself a little bit. He's stopped tripping over himself, and he's concentrating on getting his economy back up, which has been taking such a huge hit from his unit indecisions and cancelling of structures and whatnot in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the production tab, we actually see Storm on the way now, which is a very scary thing, as well as Charge. That's a good call there. Charge is scary, man. It is scary with what he has at this point.
Jaedong getting a corrupt account up though with +1 attack, going to be very handy against those Colossi. But of course, as we know, it is MC. There's going to be a lot of Stalkers. They are going to have Blink. It's going to come down to an engagement. If Jaedong can get a really, really, really good engagement, then he's going to get a foothold to be able to slap MC back a bit.
Yeah, he needs some cost-efficient fight, somehow, some way, if Jaedong's to get back in this game. For sure. Maybe a couple of mistakes. Maybe MC throwing away too many units with the Warp Prism.
Yeah.
Ideally, Stalkers aren't even that good against what we're seeing. So, if MC builds too many Stalkers, we know he loves Stalkers, but I think MC's, doing none of the above.
He's actually getting, I think, Observer speed there.
Yeah.
And
that's because, obviously, Swarmhost being a big nuisance to deal with.
The Dark Shrine as well.
For harassment, man. He's setting himself up really nice. Really active play by MC. He's been everywhere, all over the map all game long. Oh, Colossus.
Oh, getting a little bit bold there. I think the Corrupt has caught him by surprise. He didn't expect there to be that many. Mothership Core got taken out there, so he'll need a walk home if he does manage to.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go in there. The Pros player always loves to pick off a base, but if you go in there, you're probably not getting out too easily.
And all of a sudden, Apollo, we're seeing Jaedong with a supply lead and a worker lead as well. He is down. He wants to be an extra hatchery up from where he is right now. But you know what? He's stabilizing.
He is starting to stabilize. He's starting to get into rhythm a little bit now. He's got his Swarmhost down. He's up to 200 supply. Still, some kind of strike needs to happen from Jaedong onto MC. He still needs to do something.
Yeah, he still needs that cost-efficient fight that you were talking about. It needs to happen for him.
But Swarmhost is the best unit in the game to do so.
Because that is cost efficiency, man. If you can kill stuff for free, that is always a good thing.
Units lost tab pretty good here for Jaedong, who has been cost efficient from the early game, from his mistakes. Is starting to equalize this game a little bit as they both starting to bank a lot of money. And MC though, oh my gosh,
wow. That's almost disgusting.
I think that's off the hook, off the scale. Disgusting.
Isn't it? All those street words, stuff that white people shouldn't use, but we do anyway.
Street yo.
A lot of spine calls going down here. Storm's going down on Corruptors. They are a very high hit point unit though. They don't regen quite as quickly as the Muta, but still.
Stormhost a little bit exposed there. They are going to pop out some more Locusts. I don't know if there's an Observer here.
He can storm them anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't have an Observer. He's just going to force field and get out. But Jaedong's trading quite well here.
He is. The one force field slightly off, and the Locusts are being funneled a little bit. But it's good for the Colossus. The Colossus can deal with funneled Locusts. They can't deal with Locusts from every single angle, though.
Look at the cost efficiency that Jaedong's getting. Units lost tab, probably heavily in Jaedong's favor. Wow. Again.
And he's still up 20 on supply. The units, look at that units lost tab. It is just getting better and better and better for Jaedong, and worse for MC as the game goes on.
Equal economy, better army, super good defense from Jaedong against MC's harass.
Yeah, Zergimba.
That's right, man. That's it, Zergimba.
Exactly. So we got a lot of, every single Zealot attack that MC has tried, every single one has failed. Every single one.
It looks like Jaedong is kind of channeling the power of Stefano.
Yeah.
He was behind in this game, and then he said, Stefano, come in. And then Stefano says, build spores, build spines, build swarm hosts, and only defend. This is the way to beat MC. And then all of a sudden, look at what we have.
That's right. Viper's on the way as well, and this is indeed looking like that super, super, super long ZvP style, which a lot of Protoss complained about. They couldn't break it. They didn't know how to break it. Too much static D and too much free units.
Dude, Stefano just, destroyed face at DreamHack against Protoss players when he was able to play like this. But there are weaknesses, though. There are holes. Stalkers on the right,
This is
Zealots in the
good.
main.
This is much better from MC. A double-pronged harass attack here, and before the Spine-Crawler wall can get done, and he can actually not escape with the Zealots, but he can escape with the Stalkers if he's lucky. Where's Jaedong's army? Why isn't he dealing with this?
Well, it's almost, man. They are bloody slow.
They are indeed.
And they're finally making its way across here, but MC's doing pretty good for himself. He does now have, as you can see, base on the left-hand side. So he has been able to almost keep up with continuing to build units, right? He can lose units and, you know, with a 4th base and 5th base, build units. That's
Replenish,
sick,
yep.
sick analysis.
Macro is awesome, Apollo. I think that was the point of your spiel there, that it is very, very good. You have a lot of economy and a lot of production, and everything just comes straight back. It doesn't even afraid.
He has a lot of Void Rays coming in.
Yeah.
Void Rays are pretty good with Storm against Corruptors, and obviously fantastic against Stormhost here.
Yeah.
We'll see if
those
the
Vipers-
Infestor's going to be good enough. A couple of feedbacks, ideal engagement for MC's feedbacks into Storm and Void Rays.
Oh, look at this flank of this, attack from behind from Jaedong.
Needs to pull these units in.
Yeah, this is going to be dangerous. And there goes the Colossi. Storm's on the Corruptors, but also on the Colossus as well. And 2 of them nearly go down. 1 goes down.
It's a lot of Void Rays though, man.
Yeah, Void Ray's still pretty good.
All right, let's see. Jaedong down in supply at this moment. MC
they're very hurt Corruptors.
breaking through here. DTs.
Yep, DTs, why not? They are tearing apart the Swarm hosts, and MC
Uh-oh,
finally...
Observers there. Swarmhost, see you later.
Oh my